Hey guys, welcome back to License to View. This is a weekly pop culture podcast where two best friends get together to talk about pop culture news. Um, I'm Jason. That's Zach. What's
I'm
going on,
Zach.
man?
Man, not too crazy much. Got a new laptop finally, got the new hardware, new specs down, trying to be at the best possible condition we can be at.
Yeah.
Um, but other than that, not too crazy much. A couple of things. So first thing is Virtua Fighter Ultimate Showdown came out this week. So I've been plugging some playtime into that. I think each day this week since it came out, I've played about at least an hour, hour and a half each day. Just kind of
Right.
like chugging in there, testing out each of the characters and whatnot. We were talking about it a little bit before through text, but it's like the last time I really remember playing Virtua Fighter was like in the arcade of like a I think it was like a roller rink or something like that. It was a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it really hasn't been recently at all that I've like ever even like touched or remembered that like this franchise even exists. Um, but I've been digging into it and I'm digging it a lot. The crazy thing about it is that it's really not like a new game because it's still Virtua Fighter 5, and so it's still got that. I don't know. It's weird how good the mechanics still hold up compared to like games that are still coming out today. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I. Oh God, that chorus went down wrong.
yeah.
I have no memory of ever liking this game franchise. I remember playing it in arcades
hmm
as a kid up till like middle school when arcades were still around. Especially when I lived in Japan because they
hmm
had the Sega stores when I lived in Japan. So the Sega arcades,
Right.
so we go play Sega. And I remember playing this game, or like the old games, obviously, and being
hmm
so unimpressed with everything, like with the roster,
hmm
everything, right? Because it's not flashy. It's not a flashy fighting game.
No, it's very much yeah, it's the most like I don't want to say bare bones because it's not bare bones. Like there's definitely like but yeah, it's not flash. I guess that's the best word for it. Like it's not a flashy, it's not a bombastic,
There's
colorful
no,
fight game.
ultra sequences. There's not Marvel vs.
Yeah.
Capcom 2. So for me,
Well, it's not even Tekken because even Tekken's advanced so much more with like the rage meter and like doing
yeah.
like their version of supers and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, I think for me it was I never was drawn to the 3D dimensional fighting game, right? Whether that was Tekken or Soul Calibur or fucking God, what's it called? The one where you can turn into an animal,
Oh shit.
Beast Wharf,
I
Rage
think that's
Beast,
Beast.
or
I think that's like
Beast Wars. No, that's fucking.
it's like Mutant Beast or something like that.
I remember it's on
I saw Max
GameCube,
play it once.
right?
I never played that one,
So
but
I played it a lot because my buddy when I was a kid, I think it was on GameCube. He
man,
really liked one of the girls in it, like
that
a
feels like a
bunny.
GameCube game.
Yeah. So I remember I was never drawn to the 3D games. So
hmm
I would see it in arcades, you pass by the cabinet.
hmm
I'm like, why would I put quarters in this machine when right down into the dark alley of the arcade is clearly where everyone's sitting at, which is the fucking MVC2 cabinet, which has
Yeah,
30 people around it screaming, and the animations are insane. And there's a
yeah,
fucking guy who punches you with a robot fist. Like, why the
yeah,
fuck would I play this game, which looks like fucking shit boring, compared to
yeah.
that game, Or even Third Strike or Alpha or something else. So for
hmm
me, like, the only game I can think of that was 3D that I cared about was DOA because like, it was
Yeah.
on Xbox and I had an Xbox and because the girls were hot
Girls were
and there's
hot.
like
Yeah.
boob physics and I was like a 12-year-old boy or like boob physics, hell yeah, dude.
Hell yeah, dude.
So
Yeah. No, I think I mean the only really memory that I have from Virtua Fighter is Lionel, and I didn't even remember his name until this game came out. But I remember he's got the snake hands, which I guess is actually supposed to be like praying mantis hands, and I would use them all the time because he's one of those characters you just go, pep 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 pep, and that's like you win. And I was like, hell yeah,
Yeah,
that's my character. Love
yeah.
that shit. Love that cheap ass shit. But the one I remember from Bridgewater 5 is the character that I started to pick up at first. I've dropped him a little bit because I don't know if he exactly like fits the playstyle that I like, but I love his design so much, which is the luchador fighter in this, the El Blaze. He looks so dope.
Yeah. I mean, I was looking at some YouTube videos of the game to see if I
Hmm.
cared enough, and then I just didn't. I've
Yeah.
because it's not a new game, like you said. It's an old game with some like up-res, and
Yeah. It's basically
it's
it's
like
not like an upres because like it's actually been like I don't know. I don't know if it's like it's a completely different engine that the game's on because it's in the Yakuza engine.
yeah.
So I don't know if it's like it's not really an upres. I mean, I guess it is like a remaster basically, but
Which to me, like, do I do I care about every master of a game I didn't even give a shit about when it was came out?
yeah,
Like, where even when the original five came out, I remember being like, why would I play this? Because it was like, what was it, '09 when it came out, or 10?
I think it was like 6.
6.
Like the original 5, I
Yeah.
think was like 6.
So 2006, I'm trying to think what. I'm not even really. I mean, Street Fighter 4 is not even out yet, so I don't even give a shit really.
Yeah, this is way before '09 or stuff for sure.
So at that point, I'm like playing Halo.
Mm.
You know, maybe I'll see a Darkstalkers and give a shit. You know,
Yeah,
or if I'm in an arcade, that's when I play like like I said, like KOF or something.
yeah.
Or one of the weird SNK crossover games that I have no idea what the fuck they're called, but like I would
Capcom versus SNK.
no like whatever like it could be. I remember going to these cons and seeing like these cabinets and like I'm like, what fucking game is this? This is like I know Capcom SNK. This is not Capcom. This is some random ass game
Mm.
with people I think I know, but
Yeah.
they make so many versions of these fighting games, especially in the heyday. You're kind of like,
Hmm.
what the fuck is going on? Like, what is this game if you don't really know? I remember like so piggybacking off of what you said real fast.
Hmm.
I didn't play that because I just didn't care enough to.
Yeah.
I looked at some gameplay of it. I was like, okay, it looks fine, but I'm just not
I mean, the
impressed.
thing that definitely drew it to me the most, besides the fact that it was a fighting game, is that it's free with
Right,
PlayStation Plus, which is nice.
absolutely. But what I did buy today,
Mm.
had this whole ordeal. I
Okay.
um I bought Like a Dragon,
Okay.
right? And I finally got a chance to play it, even though there were some fucking spec issues.
Oh,
That
really?
game was, I booted up and the game was like, it wanted to use the wrong part of my computer to play the game, and it
Huh.
was like so laggy, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? So I had to like tinker with my settings and my computer for a while to get the game to properly, run. So I
Damn.
figured that out.
Strange.
Uh, or I got it figured out. Started playing for a little bit. Then I said, you know what? I'm not gonna sink time into this, so I refunded it. Right, got the
Hmm.
credits back. I was like, shit. I put the credits to my Steam wallet, not my PayPal. So,
Right.
well, I've been putting off buying Red Dead again, so I can play it on PC. But last week, Red Dead
Mm.
was $40. Now it's not $40. I was like, okay, well, it's fine. I have
Yeah.
$60 again. I'll just buy Red Dead again and play it. Well, the credits are still pending, so I couldn't buy it. So I was like, shit. So now I don't want to spend more money. So I bought Call of Duty Cold War because it's on sale for $35 off
Okay.
that Blizzard store. And I was like, you know what? Fuck this. So
Huh.
before I even finish installing it, I got a refund for that. This is all this morning. So I get a refund for that. So I'm like, fuck it. So I email Blizzard, which is known for not giving refunds. Even in the email, they're like, yeah,
Right.
we're not gonna do this again. I was like, yeah, whatever, blah 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 blah. They refunded it. So I'm just sitting here all day, like, what the fuck am I gonna do? I'm waiting for these credits to go through so I can play Red Dead. You know, I'm
Right.
not gonna hook my PS4 up because I want to play on the computer. So what I did was I was
Right.
looking through fighting games. Okay, what can I buy that's like cheap enough? Because I want to play Guilty Gear, but I have a week before it comes out. I'm not
June
gonna
10th.
buy an old Guilty Gear because there's no point in confusing myself.
Yeah, I mean, Accent Core. What the fuck is that name? Accent Core double R plus plus some shit like that. I don't know. I know it got rollback, which is
Well,
nice, but I was
I'm not gonna
looking.
buy Dragon Ball because Dragon Ball is still $60.
How is that game still six? That is a
So I'm like,
3-year-old
fuck
game.
that. I'm not gonna buy SF5 because I bought that already and I refunded that because I'm not gonna play SF5
Yeah.
because why the fuck would I do that? So what I did was,
Yeah, every time I try to jump back into SF5, I remember why I stopped playing
right.
SF5.
So what I did was buy a game that I've heard you talk about. I believe I've heard other people in the FGC on YouTube talk about, but I've never actually seen it until I saw a video a few days ago of a pro player. I don't know his name. He's a black guy, like a chubby black guy,
Mm-hmm.
um, talking about Guilty Gear or something. But he wasn't playing Guilty Gear. He was
Mm-hmm.
playing some anime 2D game, right? Yeah,
Under
there
Night?
was that, right? So,
Yeah, I've dipped into Under
but
Night a little
I've
bit. It's a fun
never
game.
seen it. I've only ever heard of it because the name is so
Yeah.
fucking anime, right?
The only reason I really know of it is because it's made by French
Mm-hmm.
Bread, who also did. I've never played this game, but I want to play it because I love the characters that it's from, which is the Melty Blood
So I don't
game.
know what that is.
Which they're also making a new one. They're making a new Melty Blood fighter that is also made by French Bread, who is the guys who did
Right.
Under Night. It's Fate
Oh,
Universe
okay.
stuff. It's like a different part of the
Gotcha.
universe.
Well, I saw that, and it was $25. So I'm like, okay, well I can chew on
Okay.
that in whatever.
Yeah.
So I bought it, and I'm running through the tutorial. It's the basic stuff.
How long did that take you? Because I ran through that tutorial. That tutorial
Yeah,
is long as
I got
fuck.
midway through the intermediate
Intermediate?
stuff, and I'm just sitting there being like, listen, guys.
There's like so many different
Yeah.
systems to
And
that
I'm
game.
like sitting there, and what drew me to the game from the video that I saw on YouTube wasn't is the art. The art is really
the art
good.
is fantastic.
The art looks so cool, and I mean it's
The character designs look
yeah.
great. I like all the different character
I mean,
designs
I
in it.
barely even played it. I just played like that's all I did, right? But
I got to the intermediate, and I think I did like the next one, and I couldn't do it, and I was like, "Fuck this!" And I went into I think I went into either free training or just like a command mission to just try to like get somebody, because I was like, I'm just filling my head with all this shit, and like I haven't even like touched a character that I actually want
Yeah.
to play yet. So I think I actually just like went into a command like mission thing and like just tried out one of the characters. I think one of the guys I tried, can't remember his name, but he's like the dude, bro, looking anime with like blue hair, who's like he doesn't have a weapon. He's like a straight up fist
yeah.
fighter. I was like messing around with him. I like his design a
Well,
lot.
so I ran through in the intermediate, and I'm hitting these combos.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, cool. It's a 3-button game. Awesome. That's okay. I
Yeah.
can chew on that, right? But now I'm doing these fucking like dash cancel, jump cancel. I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude. All right, so I'm enjoying it. My fingers were hurting because I didn't warm up.
Yeah.
But then I decided to hit a combo that I couldn't do, or I didn't feel like I didn't have the patience to do. So I backed out. Went just look at the character list because I did look at the character list before. I just wanted to see who's all there.
Yeah.
And automatically, favorite character was already picked. Automatically.
Okay.
Like the samurai girl.
Tell me.
Done.
Oh yeah,
Dunzo.
Samurai Girl's good.
Has a fucking Hawaiian shirt looking thing, and
Yep.
looks like a bitch. And but there's also the other bitchy.
She
There's
does
also
kinda
the
look
other
like a
bitchy
bitch.
looking girl, in the black, like on the bottom row. I don't know her name. I don't know anyone's name, but
I'm trying to look up because I haven't booted it up in
she's like in, like,
in a month or
black
so. So I'm trying to
clad,
remember.
bottom row,
Let me see
on the
here.
left side, I believe. I could be
Let
completely
me
wrong.
see. Hold on. Is she like looking like a nun?
Maybe.
Hold on. I'm about to pull. Just to put it by the
Yeah,
webcam.
yeah.
Is it this?
No, no
Okay, hold-
rapier, no rapier.
Okay.
Maybe it's not black, but it was like dark clad.
Oh wait, is it the villain one?
Yeah. So I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I
her.
tried testing out her a lot too. Her shit is weird.
It was like so. I was again. It's anime games, so I based my anime
Yeah.
games on my anime girls that I like, which are the bitches. So
Yeah.
it's either the samurai girl, which from appearance could be one, and then
Yeah.
this lady definitely is one. So
Mhm.
that's who I play first, and then I go to the cool guys.
Yeah.
But if I end up putting more time in it, we'll see what happens. I don't know yet for sure. I bought it because I wanted to play a
Oh,
fighting
this is the
game.
homie. Enkidu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I recognize him.
He's
But
got the fucking Samoan tat, and I was like, hell yeah, dude.
but at this point, my fingers, I just want my fingers to be doing something
Yeah,
because I'm gonna buy Guilty Gear. So
right.
any potential hours I put into Under Night, it's automatically removed because I'm putting time into Guilty Gear.
Right.
Um, and I haven't even looked at the character list yet for that game because I don't know anybody. But I do know that there's the girl with the wolf thing.
Yes,
Yeah,
Giovanna.
I
Yeah.
want to play her.
She's fun. I
I
think
want to play
as
her.
far as like you not never have touching a Guilty Gear character before, I think she's probably a character that is like, especially for me from playing like the two betas, because in the first beta I mostly played her, and in the second beta I mostly played Ino,
Oh,
and I feel like she's like a very beginner friendly character.
yeah.
Like she doesn't have a lot of tools, but the tools she has all have a purpose, and
I
they're
was
all
watching a
it's
vid and it was
yeah
like run in, grabs,
yeah.
cross up
She's
type
also got
shit.
good range on her stuff too, which is weird because she's one of the few Guilty Gear fighters that doesn't have a weapon.
Yeah.
But her kicks have such good range that
Mm,
it kind of almost like feels like
yeah.
she has a sword, like that kind of range extension with it. But
Well,
yeah,
that
it's
that
basically run in, kick,
that
fucking
that
dog
describes
tornado.
my Street Fighter favorite
Yeah,
character.
kick, dog tornado.
So there you go. That's it. That's
Yeah,
Ken. That's Kenneth
there
right
you
there.
go.
So I'm
You
looking
don't got a
forward to that.
Shoryuken though, so you're missing that a little bit.
Well, as long as
You
people
got to play
block well.
Soul if you want to get that fucking fire Shoryuken
I
up
don't like
there.
that cat. He looks lame.
You don't like Soul?
I think he looks lame.
I feel like you would hate Kai more than you would hate Soul.
That's the white guy, white one.
Yeah,
Yeah, he looks lame too.
yeah.
I like the girl. That girl looks cool. I like the
I mean, mine is obviously Eno. That's like my girl. So
which one is that one? Which look
Rock
like?
and Roll Witch.
I saw her in passing, but I can't exactly picture it in my head.
Yeah.
Um, obviously next week I'll have a better idea of a lot of stuff. But what else have you been checking out?
So I was playing that. I was playing that a lot. I jumped into Apex a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Because I've been watching too many streamers in passing play it, and
Mm,
I haven't played it in a long time. So I decided to jump back in,
yeah.
and it's fun. My first game, winner chicken dinner. So that
Oh
was
wow,
nice.
nice.
Yeah. I got a kill, which felt nice. So it wasn't
Mm,
like I was just completely being carried. So I got a kill, winner chicken dinner. I was like, okay, maybe I'll play this game a little bit more. But the only character I played, because I realized I had enough credits to unlock one, is there's a new character that's got like a jetpack and shit.
yeah.
Um, she looks super dope, so I've been playing a lot with her. And then also one of her idle animations is that she just pops a beer and drinks it. And I was like, hell yeah, it's
Mm.
my fucking character, dude. My fucking spirit.
I haven't played it in a long time. I haven't played it in
Yeah,
over a year.
yeah.
But when I got my computer, I did play. I played 2 matches of Valorant.
I don't think I've ever. Well, that's PC only, so yeah, I've never
Yeah,
touched that
and
game.
I had no clue what the fuck I was doing.
Well, that's basically like CS:GO Overwatch mix, right?
Yeah, so I'm like, I'm playing this dude, and like
hmm
he has this ability. I don't know anyone's names. I played it twice,
Yeah,
but I'm
I
playing this
beats me,
game.
dude. I know nothing about that game.
Yeah, I'm playing this game. There's a guy and a girl on my team, and they got mics, so they're going in. They're like talking
Yeah,
all this shit, right? And they're talking about the game and all kind of
all
stuff.
those commands and shit.
Yeah. So I have
Hit
this.
left.
They're like telling me what to do. I'm like, well, whatever. And I'm like, fuck you. I'm playing whatever the fuck I want to play. But I have this ability where it's like, I can like pop a smoke wherever I want to. You pull up a map and you have a reticle and you pick where you want and like a smoke cloud forms there.
Oh,
But I didn't know that was happening. I thought it was like a bomb. So I just kept
yeah.
doing it at the beginning of the match. I'd be running I'm like, who the fuck? Who has the ability to make this goddamn smoke? It's fucking stupid. And I was like, oh, it's fucking me. So, but I did okay. I mean, I'm obviously it was based on like skills, so I'm like,
Yeah,
no experience, so they put me with shit people. But
right.
so
I got you. So I was playing that a little bit, and then the last thing I really watched before I think we're gonna get into the thing that we both watched.
sure.
But I watched and finished Jupiter's Legacy on Netflix.
Oh, it got canceled.
Did it?
Yeah, it got canceled today.
I hope not,
It
because
did. I'm telling you, it did.
the whole fucking season 1 was
Bro, I'm telling
an
you.
entire just lead up to season 2.
No, it got
So,
canceled today.
dude, are you? I'm about to be so pissed
Confirmed.
off.
I'm telling you, it did. I'm not saying it maybe. It's
I
confirmed.
am so pissed off if
Netflix was
that's.
like, we're gonna cancel this. We're gonna try different Miller universe property, and they like already greenlit something else.
Are you fucking
Yeah,
kidding me?
I think they greenlit like Super Cook or
Dude,
something.
okay, so this makes me even more upset because I was talking about it with somebody at work today. Because the whole show is like, okay, so the main premise for the whole show is basically like, so you've got Josh Duhamel's character, he's
Mm-hmm.
living by this code. It's like, strict rules shit, like, try not to influence society, and you also can't kill anybody. That's like the big
Right.
no-no. No killing. So it's like the first or second episode is they basically end up like fighting against a supervillain, and the guy's kid ends up killing Black Star, and so that's like a whole big thing that's like repercussions throughout this whole show. Is like the newer, younger heroes thinking that the code's bullshit because people keep dying because they have to live by this code, and supervillains keep killing them.
Yeah.
And then you got fucking Josh Duhamel's character, who's like basically Superman, being like, no, you gotta stick by a code, you can't kill anybody, blah blah blah. We gotta be better than them, blah blah blah. I don't know. The whole premise of this universe is based around the fact of like, what if Superman made everybody else follow
Code.
his code, and like if you didn't follow his code, he considered you a supervillain and like wanted to throw you in jail.
Yeah.
Um, so it's got that, and then at the same time, you're also like constantly having like flashbacks to uh, Superman. I'm just gonna call him Superman. Superman as a kid, and he's like, or not as a kid, but as a young man. It's basically his journey with like all these other people who are like the founding members of the superhero group and like how they got their powers.
Yeah.
So that's like a constant flashback you're getting through the whole season. But the reason that I'm pissed off now is because the whole thing, you get to like the last episode, and I'm like, okay, they're done with the flashback shit because that ended in the last episode. But I don't understand what the central conflict of the show is.
Right.
Like outside of the psychological back and forth between like, do you or do you not follow the code? There's not really any other like main antagonist to it.
Yeah.
They kind of hint at one the whole time where they talk about one of the founding heroes like went evil and like betrayed the Union and blah blah blah. And he's like hinted at through the whole season, but he's disappeared and nobody knows where he is.
Yeah.
And then the last episode happens, and some shit happens. They like find him, and I'm like, okay, so like he's gonna be the main antagonist for the next season. And it's like, no, the last 5 minutes, Superman's brother, who's also a superhero, is basically revealed to be a mastermind behind going on. He's the reason that the supervillain came up, that the guy's kid had to kill. And I'm like, okay, so he's like the big bad who's like trying to take over the world. What the fuck is going on? Like I don't know. It's a very confusing show. And now that it's canceled, I'm even more unhappy than I was when I finished it this morning.
So I've never read it because I just never it was never one of the books that he made that I cared about. So
Yeah.
how come Josh Duhamel or whatever? How come he has Superman powers? What else does everyone else have?
So he has Superman powers. So the way that they explain it in the flashback after all the original people have got their powers is that he's Superman, and they all have like the basic Superman powers where like most of them can fly, the originals. Most of them can fly, most of them have super speed, and most of them are super strong. But they all have like an additional power onto that. Like Josh Duhamel has the eye beams; he can shoot beams out of his eyes. His brother is like a psychic Professor Xavier type character. His wife is like a lie detector, I guess. I don't know. Her other like power is not really explained.
Right.
There's another guy that like he just looks like the Flash. I don't know. It's very confusing. They don't explain like a lot of the other people's powers outside of like the Superman, his brother, and his wife. Those are like the three that really like get explained. The Flash character, he also has like some sort of like firestorm like energy manipulation shit that's like not explained. And then it like the powers that get passed down to the kids make no sense. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense. Like all of a sudden they like get into the future and there's like so many like kid superheroes running around,
Yeah.
and it doesn't explain like where these other kids' powers came from. Like there's
Right.
only 8. There's like only 6 original superheroes,
Yeah.
and only one of them's a girl. So I don't know whether like all these other people like got their powers from. Like the Superman and the girl like hook up and they've got their 2 kids, but their 2 kids don't have like different powers. Like they just have Superman powers.
Right.
Like they can fly and they're super strong. The one kid, like his son, doesn't even, as far as I know, he doesn't even have anything different from that. Like he's just can fly and he's super strong. Like the basic of basic packages. But there's other superheroes in this world that like one of them has like lava hands, another girl has like the energy manipulation shit. And so it's like I don't understand where like this diversity in powers came from. Like they don't explain how like the heredity works, or if like when they came back with powers, like kids just started to have powers. Like it's not easily explained.
Yeah.
I think that's the main thing, is just there's a lot of stuff that like is just not explained well enough. There's too many things, that too many unanswered questions that now will never be answered because it got fucking canceled. What the fuck?
Well, the show looked bad.
It's not great. I also didn't like Josh Duhamel's costume. Like him as a younger guy is fine, but like when it like is present day, which I do like, they have a distinct aspect ratio change between like when it's a flashback and when it's present day. When it's present day, it's always widescreen, and when it's a flashback, it's always full ass.
Yeah.
It's the whatever 4:3, 16:9, whatever that the aspect ratio is, but that's always flashback. But when he's in like present day, he looks like a hobo, and it's very strange. Like he's all clearly it's like they've all been alive for like a really long time, because like the flashbacks is all them in like the Great Depression era, like late 20s, and then in the present day is like now, like 2021, but they're all still alive and they all look like they're in their 50s almost, except for well, they all look like they're in their 60s almost, because they all look wrinkly. They've got old age makeup, except for his wife, Superwoman, basically. She looks like normal, except that she has white hair.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, but your husband looks crusty as fuck, and he looks like a hobo.
Right.
With stringy white hair that does not look good, and a beard that does not look good.
Yeah, I mean I saw the trailer had that like fight scene with some on like some hill, and it looked like shit. So I was like, I'm not watching.
Yeah,
this.
it's not good.
So I didn't watch that, but you should watch, if you're gonna watch a comic book adaptation from Netflix. You should fucking watch, what's it called? Umbrella Academy.
I do need to watch
It's
that.
good.
Yeah.
It's good. It's really good.
You know how I started watching Jupiter is that I just pressed play me something on my thing, and it decided to play Jupiter Legacy. So I was like, all right, well, I did kind of want to see what it was about, so I decided to finish it. But maybe I'll just go to Umbrella Academy.
Umbrella Academy, 2 seasons, both really good. Yeah. I've read the first comic book, because they're like miniseries. I've read the first one, and it's a lot of differences from the show and the comic book, but they're not bad differences. And I really enjoy both of them as their own versions.
Okay.
But the show is really good, even though I don't know. It's confusing to me, because one of the main characters is now a boy, but she was a girl before, like in real life.
Oh yeah, Ellen Page.
Right? So like if she
can, her name now? I don't know.
Elliot. So if
Page.
he continues to play that character, it's kind of fucked up, because she's stealing a role from a woman.
Yeah.
And she cut her boobs off. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, she posted on Instagram her shirt off on a pool or something.
Okay.
So at this point, she can't keep playing that character, right? Isn't that weird?
I mean, yeah, it'd be weird if she's a guy pretending to be a girl now. So
it's like almost kind of like I'm so old in my head that I'm like, I don't understand how the phonetics, how do we figure this out? But besides that, The show itself is good. I enjoy that. And then today or yesterday, I think yesterday, um, Sweet Tooth came out,
I do want to watch that because I saw that came out.
and I started it, but I didn't watch any more past the first 10 minutes.
Is that a superhero show? It looked like a
No,
post-apocalyptic.
it's a comic book adaptation.
Okay,
That's
yeah,
what I'm
yeah, yeah.
saying. It's Jeff Lemire.
Gotcha.
Um, and the comic book I never read the comic book,
Okay.
right?
I never even heard of it until you mentioned the trailer to me like a couple weeks ago.
So I know it because I'm a big fan of Jeff Lemire,
Mm-hmm.
but also because when I first started reading comic books, um, consistently myself was in the middle of the run. So I'd
Okay.
go to the comic book shop and I would always see the Sweet Tooth here, or Scalped here, whatever for Jason
Mm-hmm.
Aaron, and I would always see the art because he drew that book as well. Jeff Lemire drew that book, his Sweet Tooth, and I thought the art looked like shit. I hate his art in most things.
Mm-hmm.
I think it looks really cool in some things, but I think it looks really bad. And he's a very particular style of art, which means to me, in my opinion, he means he can't draw. That's kind of how I look at it, right? It's not for me, and I like some weird art, but I don't really love his art. But
Okay.
the premise is cool, and um, the trailer for the show looked really good, and the first 10 minutes was pretty solid. But I don't have anything to compare it to because I haven't read the comic book. But
Right.
in terms of like adaptations that of heavy material,
Yeah.
like if this does well and it's close enough to the source material and people enjoy it, I expect a lot from like Y because it's a very famous series, and
Yeah.
if Sweet Tooth can do it or Umbrella can do it, I see no reason why The Last Man can't do it.
Yeah.
Um, so, which gives me hope for stuff like Scalp, which I love, or Southern Bastards, or all these other Vertigo or
Mm-hmm.
Image crime books. What they really need to do is adapt Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips' Criminal, because that would be fantastic.
I don't think I've
Um,
ever read that one.
Read it; it's good. It's really good. They,
Okay.
they just re-released them actually, and
I'm waiting for Chew to finally be adapted some way.
they you got greenlit like 10 years ago.
Did it really?
Yeah, it's been greenlit for a long time. They just or been optioned for a long time, but
Right. Just haven't done anything with it.
yeah, it's hard to do that, man, because it's so like the concept's
Yeah.
weird, but the way it's so action packed at times, it's kind of like I don't know how
Yeah.
you're gonna do it.
It's got a weird balance that it's got for sure.
And it's also very funny, so I don't know. I don't know. And then what they would do is they would cast Aquafina as one of the sisters, and then it'd make me so mad because
Yeah.
Aquafina has been in every. She's always the Asian girl in everything now. Is Aquafina.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't really like her as an actress. I don't like her as a rapper. So I don't care.
She's a rapper.
I believe so. She started as a rapper. Yeah,
She's a
that's how I
rapist.
first heard of her as a rapper.
Huh.
Um, but Chew would be. I would love Chew. It's one of my favorite stories.
Yeah. Chew's great.
But you should definitely watch Umbrella. So
Okay.
sorry.
I might pick up that one next then.
I think you would enjoy it because it's very much. First off, I'm a huge fan of My Chemical Romance, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's that alone. And
Fair enough.
there's that thing where it's that weird like nerd cred,
Mm-hmm.
stupid bullshit that people do. Like, and they do it happens across everyone does it no matter what they say across
Mm-hmm.
anything, right? Where like when I first heard that Gerard Way had a comic book coming out and it was this, I was like, fuck that. It's gonna suck, right? But then I remembered because I was a huge fan of My Chemical Romance. I was like, no, it's gonna be great because he went to college for comic books. I was like, no, it's
Oh.
gonna be fine. Like he went to school for this. Like he
Yeah.
interned at Marvel or some shit or DC. Like
Mm-hmm.
he drew the cover to their album. Like he's an artist. It's gonna be fine,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he's not drawing it. He's just writing it. But still, people are like, oh, guy in a band wants to make a comic book. Oh, okay. It's probably gonna suck.
Yeah.
But it's you listen to him talk or you listen to him in interviews
Mm-hmm.
on like these comic book YouTube channels or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and he's in it. He knows the history. He knows he's a reader and all that kind of stuff. So he's super into it, right?
Okay.
And it's very much reassuring to me when um, someone from one medium jumps uses another medium. It isn't like using it just to try to make money or like whatever.
Right.
Right? He's a fan of comic books and punk and music, and he wants to do both, and he's good at both.
Okay.
Whereas it's like fucking, we're gonna cast you as a Marvel character in a Marvel movie, and we're gonna give you all the fucking omnibuses of the character you're playing, and you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
pretend like you give a shit. You're gonna go to the interviews and pretend like you actually read it. You're gonna
Yeah.
pretend like you actually fucking love this character, and people are gonna you're 50-50. People are gonna be like you're full of shit. People are gonna be like, okay, awesome. They read the character, right? Whereas you see someone like Sam Whitworth, who's a actor and a voice actor. He does both,
Mm-hmm.
but he's in Being Human, which is the American version, and
Mm-hmm.
he's in cool other things. But in voice acting, he was Darth Maul in the Clone Wars, and he was Darth Maul in Rebels. He's a huge Star Wars fan. He's the main character of Days Gone, and you hear him talk about Star Wars, and he's like, "Yeah, fucking Last Jedi sucks. They ruined Luke Skywalker." You
Yeah.
know, um, I know I'm rambling, but my point is this:
That's fine.
Umbrella Academy is good because the dude writes a good story, and he appreciates like the medium of comic books. And if you watch
Okay.
Umbrella Academy, the first thing you're going to think of if you have read this story, you're going to be like, okay, this is just Doom. This is Doom Patrol.
Okay.
It's just Doom Patrol, and that's not a bad thing. It's his
Yeah.
take on Doom Patrol, and it's his favorite comic book. When he was working at DC, or was still maybe he's still there now, I don't know. He wrote Doom Patrol. He talks about Grant Morrison's run on Doom Patrol as being like one of his favorite runs. Like, if you've ever read Doom Patrol, that's probably like the fucking most famous Doom Patrol run is fucking Grant Morrison.
Yeah.
So you'll watch Umbrella Academy and be like, this is just his homage in twists and turns and whatever to Doom Patrol. So I don't know.
Okay.
You'll like it. You'll dig it.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
You'll dig it. So
I'm excited to try that then, for sure.
you'll dig. There's time travel. There's
Dude, time travel's always
space.
tricky business.
There's monsters. There's aliens. There's robots. There's
So you need to answer me this question because I keep
sure.
seeing this character pop up in the adverts from Netflix when I'm scrolling through my shit.
What are you?
Why is there
What are
a
you
character
British?
with a goldfish
Oh,
for a
what are
head?
you British? Adverts?
Adverts?
Advertisements? What are you
I've been watching
British?
too much YouTube. That's the
Yeah.
problem.
So fishbowl character.
Goldfish bowl for head.
He's
What is up with that?
barely even in it.
Is he?
Yeah.
I keep seeing that face pop up whenever I'm like scrolling through.
No, the
Netflix chooses like the weirdest shit for their
yeah.
plots.
More so, it would be like the monkey or the maid lady or the old man or any of the siblings.
Yeah.
Do you know the premise to the show?
I remember watching the trailer. It's like there's like a certain number of babies that were born at a certain time and they all had powers and like the guy
Yep.
adopts them.
Yep, and he makes them superheroes.
Yeah.
And then they're all weird, and then there's however many of them, and then it cuts to them as adults, and they're
Hmm.
all like separated, and they have to return because he dies.
Okay.
And it's them like becoming a family
And the
again.
monkey was a kid or the monkey's just a monkey?
The monkey is a smart monkey.
Okay.
Yeah, like a
That
genetically
reminds me
advanced.
there's the DC character that's a smart monkey, right?
I'm pretty sure it's in Doom Patrol.
Is that in Doom Patrol?
Or are you talking about Grodd?
Well, there's a smart gorilla in Doom Patrol that's a villain.
Yeah, or are you talking
I
about
was thinking,
Gorilla
hold on.
Grodd from Flash?
DC monkey. Hold on. DC monkey. There it is. It's. No, that's not it, right? The monkey print? Detective Chimp. That's gotta be
Oh,
what it is.
okay.
There's Detective Chimp. Monkey Prince. I don't know. And realized there were so many monkeys in DC.
Of course there is, dude.
Huh. Yeah, I think it's Detective Chimp, but
Okay. No, you dig it, dude. There's uh Robot Man. I don't know his name. Space Boy, I think it's his name.
Okay.
There's a girl named the Rumor who can make people do what she says.
Okay.
There's um, Batman, basically, but
Okay.
they don't. That's the thing that changed. They don't ever show his powers are very different in the comic book than in the show. That surprised me, but it wasn't a bad thing. But there's Batman, but there's a character. He's a Hispanic guy who
Hmm.
is like basically Bullseye. He
Okay.
never misses. But the comic
Who's
book,
Bullseye but a hero?
yeah, he's like an anti-hero. As an adult, he's like Batman.
Okay.
He's like Daredevil. But in the comic book, he actually has like the ability to become a Kraken or something like that. Like he has like a Kraken inside of him or something like that.
What the
I
hell?
believe so. There's Genius Boy. These are all fake names. Genius
Yeah.
Boy, who's super fucking smart, or he's smart and he can time travel. Or
Okay.
he can flash forward or jump into space or whatever, and he time travels.
Okay.
Um, then there's I'm trying to think, is that all the siblings? Oh, there's um the other brother who's a drug addict who can like talk to the dead.
Okay.
He can like Constantine it, and he's like
Okay.
going crazy because he sees their dead
Or
sibling.
Dead Man.
Yeah, or Dead Man, but Dead Man is from Boston and it's really weird, or
Yeah.
where Connecticut, where the fuck he's from. But
He's from Boston.
this brother, their other brother died in some mission, and
Mm-hmm.
his ghost is with him, so no one else can see him, but he can see him. So for like the entire time that like since they were kids to now, it's been them two, and he hasn't told anybody that he's there.
Huh.
So the show will cut for like them there, and then he'll pan over, and then the dead brother will be there and being like, "You should tell him this." He's like, and he just ignore them and stuff like that. So, and
Huh.
then and then Elliot Page's character has no powers,
Powerless, powered?
and that's her
No,
like
just no powers.
she has no powers. So
Huh.
that's like kind of like the whole family's out there saving the world, and their dad's like giving them attention, and he's like not giving her any attention, and it's like the drama between that. So it's like half family drama, half superhero drama,
Okay.
half bonkers Doom Patrol type shit. So
Okay.
it's worth watching. And then season two is even better.
Okay.
Season two, they have to stop JFK from being assassinated, or
Oh shit, dude. That's what
something like that. It's something like
Why
that.
is it always end up like JFK? We gotta kill Hitler. Some weird
Yeah.
shit like that.
I don't know, dude. So, Zach, real quick, anything else you've checked out?
Well, the last thing that I checked out is I think the thing that we both checked out, which was Dark Side of the Ring in the Shadow of Grizzly Smith.
Yeah.
Uh, you recommended me to watch this
Mm-hmm.
because it was a true crime episode of Dark Side of the Ring, basically. Um, damn, dude, I feel bad for Jake the Snake, dude.
I know, right? It's I mean, the show in general is true crimey. Like everything
Yeah,
is Dark Side of the Ring, right? So
right.
it's all heavy material, and it's all varying degrees of heaviness. You know, the
Wasn't
super
expecting a pedophile to show up.
yeah, the Superfly episode was pretty heavy.
Hmm.
Obviously, the Benoit is heavy,
Yeah, that's like
um,
its whole other shit. Yeah,
but this is a different level. Like Benoit is depressing and sad and sucky,
yeah.
right? Not the episode, but like the story. But
This, yeah,
this
his whole
story
story
is
is,
like
yeah,
just infinitely worse. And the fact that
yeah,
the directors of the show were able to get like the two big victims of it.
yeah,
Think about how many more people there are.
yeah,
So if you don't know the story of Jake the Snake and his sister, who they said it in the documentary, like for years no one knew their siblings. I had no idea, and it's been
yeah.
public knowledge for a while now, but I just
And
had
they don't
never.
even, well, from the way I understood, like they didn't even acknowledge that like they're related, like even outside of the ring,
They just fucking play that
because
kayfabe.
they're estranged.
They're
Yeah,
just using that kayfabe, dude.
yeah.
But for me, I always just thought that, and maybe because Jake is before my time,
Mm-hmm.
but like his prime time was before I even cared about wrestling.
Right.
And when I look back at that era of wrestling, the Federation years, I don't look at him. I look at like Steamboat. I
Yeah.
look at like Hulk, whatever. Um, But even then, that era, I'm more of a WC Dub guy. You know,
Right.
Rick, those kind of guys.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously Steamboat and them were in the WWF. They whatever.
Yeah.
Sting, right?
Yeah.
So this episode, I have no knowledge of Jake the Snake because to me, his name is Jake. You know,
Yeah.
and I've seen the fucking documentary
Mm.
Resurrection Jake the Snake. And I don't even know because I don't remember if they even say his name is Aurelian, not Jake.
Yeah.
But in my mind, that's just okay.
Aurelian Smith Jr.
Yeah, in my mind, that's just Jake the Snake, and he's a fucking he had a problem,
Yeah.
and now you're like, okay, well,
There's a reason he had a problem.
I get it now. I fucking get it, bro.
Yeah.
You know, um, I was so surprised during the entire episode because I think this deserves 2 episodes. I'm surprised it didn't get one
Yeah.
because Brian Pillman got two episodes, which I don't think it deserved 2 episodes. No offense to
Mm-hmm.
Brian Pillman, he's a fantastic talent, but that story could have been done in 1 episode
Mm-hmm.
if you really created it like they do other things. But this episode was so heavy, and you can tell they had more to say.
You could definitely tell that there was a lot more that all of the siblings wanted to say
Yeah,
about what was going on. I mean, it's like you really look at the episode and it's like really the main thing is it focuses on Jake and it focuses on Robin. But I mean, they had their other brother too, who was like, he's got his own like fucking tub of
yeah.
shit that he's got with him. What was it? Houston, I think.
Sam Houston's wrestling.
Sam
now.
Houston, yeah.
Yeah. Are we not gonna what kicks you in the dick, right? Because they did really good editing in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like you have Jake tell his story about his like stepmom like sexually abusing him.
Yeah.
And then Robin tells her story about her dad sexually abusing her.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to being like the director, the whoever, being like, "Have you heard Jake's story about your mom?" And you're like, "Wait,
Yeah.
what?" Oh,
She's like, huh?
what? So you're telling me that fucking like this is so crazy,
Yeah.
so crazy. Of
Yes.
and you wouldn't think that this would happen. I mean, I don't know. It's life, so I guess it happens anywhere. But
Yeah.
and everyone knew, and no one
That's
wanted
the
to do shit.
craziest thing is, well, first of all, seeing Jim Cornette's actual face for me was mind blowing.
You've never seen him
I've never
before?
actually. No, I'd never actually seen him.
Oh man, you never seen Corny, dude.
And I was like, damn, dude, those cartoons that they always put on those Jim Cornette
They're
clips,
accurate.
That's his face.
That's his face.
But
also, real quick though,
but yeah,
pause you there.
Yeah.
Isn't he really great when he's talking about history?
I think this definitely showed for sure that like more so than talking about modern stuff, him talking about like the history and his experience in the business is like where he shines for sure.
Well, just talking about the history of professional wrestling in general.
Yeah.
Like, there are other videos where he talks about like how they used to call matches and all kind of stuff in wrestling terminology. And like you see his house, it's covered in wrestling shit.
Yeah.
Like posters and all this stuff about wrestling. So when he talks about history,
yeah,
he's amazing. Even when
Yeah.
when he's doing color commentary, it doesn't say something super racist. It's really great.
Yeah.
But when he critiques modern era wrestling, it's kind of like, okay, dude, you're smart, but also it's 2021, and maybe your take is old. But he's really great in this series.
Yeah. I would agree with that. But yeah, it's like listen to him just talk about how he was starting out, and it was like people fucking knew even then that like
Yeah,
Grizzly was like
the shit guy,
touching little girls. It's fucking crazy.
And like I guess I understand why no one would say anything because maybe they were just shitty people, but also because it's territory.
Well, it's like that. They're shitty people, but it's also, at least from the context of from what I understood, is like at that point, I mean, Grizzly's like top billed of the company, and it goes back to the whole power dynamic thing, where it's like, if you accuse him and try to like take a stand against it, because I mean, in the context of this, like Jim Cornette knew, and he didn't fucking say shit.
Yeah.
So.
Well, also, it's like my point is like this is territory days, and if someone in your territory runs you out of town,
Yeah.
do you really think that you're gonna get work any other fucking territory?
Yeah.
Probably not. My dog is like fucking whimpering in his sleep right now. Sullivan, Sullivan, hey.
He's almost got that fresh bone, dude. That's what he wants.
All right, he'll be fine. No, so what we glossed over though is how their fucking sister gets murdered.
Oh yeah, dude. And she gets kidnapped and murdered, and like the cops just like, I can't figure it out because I got no body. But I'm pretty sure she burned in a crematorium.
Yeah. And that's like the
That
opening
shit's
line.
insane. And then they basically implicate that was like, yeah, the dad probably had her murdered. And I was like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
I don't know what episode is next if there's anything that left in the season, but like, how do you fucking top that, dude?
I don't know, dude. That feels like that's like a series finale right there.
Well, the episode before that was Ultimate Warrior,
Mm-hmm.
which was good.
Mm-hmm.
But if you already knew, like me, episode the 10th is Dynamite Kid.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be good. He's a good wrestler and he's a cool story.
Mm-hmm.
The Rock praises Dark Side of the Ring. I'll read this news later. Sorry, but
Okay.
the episode of Ultimate Warrior is good. You should check it out if you care enough.
Okay.
But the problem with the Dark Side of the Ring, they're so short. They need like an hour and a half per episode to really like.
Yeah, the fact that they're 44 minutes is a little. Well, I mean, I'm grateful for it because I can really only watch it. I don't have a cable provider, so unfortunately, I couldn't just pop that shit in. So I had to use like the free passes or whatnot. So it was like I had to use like 2 for one episode because they only get like 30 minutes at a time, and they're 44 minutes. I was like, okay, I can do this, but I can definitely see like it being like, especially for this episode in particular. Like if they were going to do two episodes, like having it be like an hour and a half would have, I think, really
definitely
helped dig deeper into this shit because. I mean, that's clearly just like scratching the surface. Like, there's got to be more shit.
There's more shit for sure. So.
Yeah. But that was the last thing I checked out on your recommendation. Jason, what else you've been playing this week besides playing, watching, reading? Tell me. Let me know.
A couple things. First thing I did, I this week I watched 2 episodes of Running Man this week.
Okay.
It's paused. I watched I'm on episode 103.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched 100 episodes in like 3 weeks. So I'm taking a break for a little bit. I'm gonna get back to it probably after the podcast or whatever. I watched some episodes of the show called Good Detective. I was texting you about it.
Yeah.
I haven't finished it yet. I kind of took a break, but I'm enjoying it. Good Detective on Netflix, Korean drama, crime drama. Okay. What I did do was do something I never thought that I would do. Okay. And this is kind of how my pattern is in life, is that I get bored of certain things and I want to learn something new that I don't know, and then I just barge all I can about this one thing and try to learn all I can and get really into it, and then I'll move on to the next thing, right?
Okay.
So I do that with everything. So right now, my big hobby or my big focus was because I saw a sports podcast on YouTube called I Am Athlete. Okay. And it's a good podcast, but it's a four former football players, and they're doing a month or long or whatever series. But they went to Charlotte, and they decided to interview people from NASCAR.
Okay.
And they did an episode with Dale Earnhardt Jr.
All right.
So I watched that episode, knowing nothing about NASCAR. Mm-hmm. Now I was a big fan of Formula One for a long time.
Okay.
So I understand motorsports, right? I get the general gist of motorsports. Obviously, I read Initial D, so I watched Formula Drift. So I'm all about motorsports. I watched some rally, all that kind of stuff, but never watched NASCAR. Okay. And I watched this interview, and I was so fucking hooked. So Dale Jr. has his own podcast. I've been binging that shit like fucking crazy all week, right? Because it's like he'll do like race breakdowns, whatever, but I don't care about that. He does interviews with people who work in NASCAR.
Okay.
right? And then, so I don't know if you know anything about NASCAR, because I knew nothing about
I
NASCAR.
know the bare minimum.
So, from listening to this podcast, I Am Athlete, it's a really good episode of the podcast.
Hmm.
It's four former pro football players talking to one of the most famous NASCAR drivers of all time, right?
Hmm.
And Dale Jr. says they ask him about his dad, right? Everyone knows Dale
Right.
Earnhardt is like the guy, but I
Hmm.
never understood why, right? Because like I'm like he's just a famous driver, whatever. But they're explaining in the podcast, and Dale Jr. is explaining like this guy, my dad, was like Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
He had 7 Cup championships, which only 3 people have,
Hmm.
right? He's Daytona 500. He is one of the best drivers in the top 3 of all time for NASCAR.
Hmm.
And it's him being like, I knew that I will never ever. I had no chance to be. He's a once in a generation talent. I am not that.
Yeah.
You know, I have to strive to become this kind of. And it's about him like getting into NASCAR. How his dad didn't help him. You know, his dad was too busy focusing on his own career and like all this
Hmm.
stuff. And I was like, this is fucking so interesting. So I was barging his podcast, like listening to people I don't know who the fuck they are. But then I
Yeah.
Google it. I'm like, oh, okay, this guy is a crew chief on this guy's car. Okay, I know that guy. I know that name is familiar. So I've watched that podcast. Oh,
Hmm.
I know Jeff Gordon from the name. Listen
I
to
know
this
Jeff
podcast.
Gordon.
So I've been doing that, and then I watched a documentary called "Rivaled: Earnhardt versus Gordon." I
Okay.
think it's a TV documentary. I think this is one episode of that. Different rivals, I think, is what it is.
Yeah.
But in the mid '90s, the big rivalry that helped kick NASCAR to become super famous when we were kids, because NASCAR was big when we were young.
Yeah.
Before that, it wasn't as big, right, money wise. But this was
Hmm.
one of the things that made it really big was that Dale Earnhardt was the guy. He drove a black car. His
Hmm.
nickname was the Intimidator. He had a mustache. He had cowboy boots. He's from North Carolina. He would fucking crash people if they're in his way. And here's this fucking 20-year-old kid from California with a mullet and drives a rainbow car named Jeff Gordon, and he crushes all of them.
Yeah.
And he's 20, and fucking Dale Earnhardt's like 30 something years old, 38 years old or whatever. It's about their rivalry. And I'm watching this documentary being like, this is just like any other fucking sport.
Yeah.
Like, I was watching an episode of Peyton's Places, which is an ESPN Plus show.
Yeah.
And he's talking to a corner that he hated playing against because he was so hard to play against or whatever, or a safety or somebody, right?
Hmm.
And I'm like, it's like that battle between like the quarterback and the defense. And this was
Yeah.
the same thing, but it's like we're in fucking cars going 160 miles an hour,
Hmm.
and whatever. So it's like it was super fascinating and helped bring NASCAR into perspective. And I say that because tomorrow at 4 o'clock, it is the Toyota Mart 400, and I will be watching it. Boom. Do I have a driver? Nope. But I'm gonna watch it.
No,
I'm gonna watch it. And then guess what?
your driver's dead at this point. So.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't care. I like Jeff Gordon from the mullets that I saw.
Oh, fair enough.
But so my girlfriend is from Charlotte,
Hmm.
and I didn't know this, but she explained to me when I first went to Charlotte with her. I was
Hmm.
like, Charlotte's Nashville, or Charlotte is NASCAR town. Like
Hmm.
that's where its headquarters are at.
It's the NASCAR museums in Charlotte. Yeah.
Yeah. Speedway, the museum. I'm like, yo, we're fucking going, right?
Yeah.
And then she sent me a TikTok yesterday of this like dog park, like
Hmm.
this like water park for dogs in North Carolina in a place called Kannapolis. And
Okay.
I know Kannapolis because I learned that's where Dale Earnhardt's from. So I go,
Oh.
hey babe, listen, if we go to this dog park, I have something we have to go to. She's like, what do you mean? I go, I know Kannapolis. She's like, yeah, it's next to Mooresville. I go, no. I have learned in my week of being a NASCAR fan that Kannapolis is Dale Earnhardt's hometown, and in the middle of the town is a full life-size statue of Dale Earnhardt.
Hell yeah.
So I have to go pose like the Rocky statue and get a picture with them. You know, they're. I want to add a caveat here.
Okay.
There's a Rocky statue. I want to see
Right.
it. Dale Earnhardt statue. I now want to see it. There's a Bruce Lee.
Fozzie
There's a
statue.
Bruce Lee
Obviously.
statue
Obviously.
in Hong Kong. Oh, what statue?
Fozzie. Obviously.
Fozzie. Where?
It's in Missouri. Or no, it's in Wisconsin. The RLM guys have talked about it.
Really?
Yeah. There's a statue to the Fonz.
What's he doing? What's the? I have never even heard of that. I don't remember that.
Hold on. Fonzie statue. Oh, it'd help if I spelled Fonzie right. Fonzie
Does
statue.
Happy Days take place in Wisconsin?
I think he's from Wisconsin.
Okay.
Bronze Fonz. Located on the Milwaukee Riverwalk.
I mean, I would believe if the show took place there.
Oh yeah, no, Happy Days was set in Milwaukee, so that's why.
Okay.
I thought he was from Milwaukee, but oh yeah, I guess it makes sense if that's where the show was from.
Yeah.
Because
So.
Sylvester Stallone's not from Philadelphia, so.
Yeah. Where is he from?
Sylvester, probably from California.
New Jersey?
Is he a Jersey boy?
I bet he's from like New York or something.
Sylvester Stallone. Let me see. Hold on. Arrived in New York City, so he's not from New York. Let's see. Oh, he was. Huh, that's weird.
What?
Maybe he left and came back then.
I don't
No,
know.
it says he was born in New York.
There you go.
1946.
1946.
Goddamn, dude. I can't believe he's that old.
I know, dude.
I mean, I guess I can, because every time I see him, he looks like he's got one foot in the grave.
Think about
but-
Rocky Cat, what, 78? 75?
Is that 78?
75? 78? 79?
77.
70. So Star Wars. Same year as Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's an old ass fucking movie, dude.
Yeah, it's old.
It's old as shit
Yeah.
now. And it's probably like 25, 26 when he made it, right?
Damn, he's born in Manhattan? Alright, fair enough.
So I did that to tie into the racing. My girlfriend and I rewatched Fast 1 to 5.
Okay.
And then we watched Fast 6. No, we watched Fast 7 for the first. I've never seen it before. She's never seen it before. So we
Which
watched.
one's Fast 7?
That's with Statham.
The first one was Statham.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Well, technically he's only one because Hobbs and Shaw is, what was it? Fast
Well,
and
he
Furious
shows up in
presents.
he shows up in Fast 8, I think.
Does
too.
he? I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
Because I think 8 is the one with Charlize
Yeah.
shows up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know why, but I have not seen that whole movie, but I've seen that part where he shows back up because he gets back Vin Diesel's kid or some shit.
Well, we watched those because we rewatched. We saw 1 through 6 before.
Yeah,
We just never.
I think
finished
that's
it.
the furthest I've seen like the whole movie is 6 or maybe 7. I guess 7.
Yeah, 7. This is the first time I've seen 7, so we have 8, and because we wanted to rewatch them all because in like 2 weeks.
I was going to say like
Fast
like
9.
the end of the month is Fast 9. Baby.
Yeah, so I gotta prepare for how Han comes back. And
It's not going to be a satisfying answer of why he came back.
I bet what's gonna happen is that Jason Statham pulled him out of the car. Right?
That's so stupid.
Like
He wasn't even a good guy at that point. He's still a bad guy.
he pulled him out of the car. He's like, stay hidden. Right?
If that's what it's gonna be, I'm gonna be so upset.
So, yeah.
I'd be more stupid if it was be like, that wasn't me, that was my body double.
That was my twin brother.
That was my twin brother. No, that was the real Han. This Han is his twin brother.
Yeah, so my haircut's different.
Yeah.
So did that. They're fine. A couple things I wanted to mention real fast before we move on. The trailer from the guy who made the Mr. Rogers documentary.
Mm.
His trailer for his new documentary coming out. It's the Anthony Bourdain.
Oh, you know what? I did see the trailer for the Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was the Mr. Rogers guy.
Yeah, I believe so. It's a good trailer. I'm a big fan of Anthony Bourdain, like everybody is.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Or at least, I was a fan of No Reservations.
Yeah,
I didn't
that's
watch
the one.
anything past that.
He's got a couple other shows, but
Yeah,
yeah,
no
No
late
Reservations is
whatever,
the one
but
I really knew.
the late whatever and no parts unknown or whatever the fuck. But the
Yeah,
CNN shit, I don't know. Only like the travel food net, wherever that travel channel, whatever that show was on.
yeah.
That's the one I watched because I would watch that
I think it was a
show.
Travel Channel.
Yeah, because I would watch that. I would watch Bizarre Foods, and I would watch fucking Man versus Food. And my
Hell yeah,
dad fucking loved Anthony Bourdain.
yeah.
I remember like my dad had like all his books. He
Mm.
watched A Cook's Tour, which was like his first show. He like had the fucking cookbook, his first book when it came out. Like my dad was a, for some
Yeah.
reason my dad gave a shit a lot about Anthony Bourdain. I don't know fucking why. My dad doesn't
Huh.
cook him. My dad hates cooking. He's not a cook fan. He doesn't cook food, but he just really liked Anthony Bourdain. Maybe because Anthony Bourdain was like really fuck you, like a fuck you kind of
Yeah,
guy.
probably.
Even though my dad and him have like probably zero in common politics
Yeah.
wise, but maybe he liked his personality. I don't know. But so he would watch No Reservations, and I was a big fan of it as well.
Okay.
So I'm gonna watch this doc, and I wonder if it's based on anything because the first book, his first book is really good.
Mm.
Um, but I think the trailer for this looks like it's more about like his like later life. I think.
Like
I don't.
CNN stuff, really?
No, this, I think more about him as a person, like later in life. I think.
Mm.
I don't know for sure though. But if you watch the trailer, it's kind of all over the place. But it's
Okay.
not really about cooking. I don't think. I think it's more so just about him as a
Right.
man. I don't
Okay.
know. I could be wrong. I don't know. Watch that. I finally watched Peyton's Places season 2. Binged that today. And then
Mm-hmm.
lastly, before we move on, quick little thing I want to say because
Mm.
I'm pissed.
Okay.
I'm very pissed
Lay it on me. Why are you so upset, Jason?
because it is game 50 something, 54, 55 in the current season of Major League Baseball. And my Washington Nationals, a recent World Series champion, um, are playing like shit. Are playing like absolute trash.
When did they win the World Series?
Like 2 years
I'm
ago.
not. I'm not
Yeah.
super. I'm still not super up on
I
baseball.
think last year was the Dodgers, I think, and then the year before that was the Nats.
Okay.
Um, I believe that's the right order. Um,
You know more than I do.
but they're playing like absolute garbage, and it bothers me because it's my favorite sport, my
Mm-hmm.
favorite team, but I'm getting tired because we shouldn't be bad. And I don't know if you have this feelings that because you don't really like follow sports that intensely, but I get so worked up and I get so angry, and I sit back and go, why am I so mad? Why do I give a shit so much?
I feel that not with sports, but just with like. I mean, I imagine you would get this way too, but like just with like shows that I'm watching,
Yeah.
where like it's the writing stuff happens, and I just get pissed off,
Oh
or
yeah.
like the way a certain character's written, and I'm just get mad. I'm like, why am I so upset at
Well, it's
this
how I
character
feel about like
that doesn't
fucking
exist?
like pro wrestling. Like
Yeah,
WWE just released like 7 people this week.
yeah,
And I'm like, okay, I don't care because half of them fucking blow. But
yeah,
like some of them are fucking good. And they released them why? Because you guys couldn't fucking figure it out?
yeah,
Not the fucking wrestler's fault, you know?
yeah.
Like Charlotte's husband, Andrade. He got
Oh
really
wait, I think I saw. Did he go to AEW?
yeah, he
Yeah,
premiered yesterday. He's amazing. He's an
yeah.
amazing pro wrestler.
He's got to be amazing. He fucking bagged Charlotte, dude.
Well,
Oh my
he's gonna
god.
succeed. He's better than she. She fucking sucks compared to him. She's
What?
trash compared to Andrade.
Oh,
He's insane. He's gonna do well anywhere.
yeah.
And then they can't figure it out. What are you talking? Samoa Joe? So
They
that's
let go of Samoa Joe.
yeah.
What the
So
fuck?
that's fake sports. But
Yeah.
when it comes to real sports, I get even more mad. You know, I was watching the game today against the Phillies. Fucking lost. I was literally had to stop watching because it was at the bottom of the 5th inning or top of the 5th inning. We were up was 1-zip. So, all right, guys. We won last night. Let's win again today. Let's close it out. Let's keep going. Right? What does Philly do? Hit a fucking
Double?
triple.
Triple?
Right? I'm like, Jesus Christ. What are we doing, guys?
3-1?
Do we want to play? Do we want to play this game or do we want to go home? What are we doing? So I got so mad I turned it off. There's a UFC fight happening right now. I'm not going to watch it.
There's a piece of shit fight happening tomorrow.
I saw that. I saw the weigh-in for that on YouTube at the
I saw part of the weigh-in because it dropped on NBC for some reason.
I'm tired of seeing those guys' names in my feed so often.
Yeah, I'm tired of seeing them pop up.
Also, how the fuck is that fight sanctioned? Because
it's not. I saw that it's not a sanctioned fight.
Because I saw the byline, and I haven't watched a single frame because I don't give a shit. Yeah. But that the Paul weighed in at 189.
Yeah, he's like
30 pounds, and then
he's like 30 pounds heavier, and he's like 2 feet taller.
What?
But it's not a sanctioned fight. I know that much.
I don't care about. Look, I'm not a fighter. Never been one. Never will be one. I'm just a fan. But I understand enough about the fight game to know that's why we have weight classes.
Yeah.
But some people also.
I know Floyd tried to say some tough ass shit. He was like, it doesn't matter how big or tough somebody is. It's about how you fight and how to fight. And I was like, okay, but like, if a guy who weighs 30 pounds more than you and can put 30 pounds more pressure behind his punch hits you in the fucking head, it's going to hurt a lot more than you're going to hurt him.
That's the that's the fucking... that's the logic. All right, Mark Hunt, heavyweight, go fight fucking Mayweather. No, it's not going to happen. So, I mean, I've just been like so mad on my sports teams. My Capitals have been whatever. Fucking what I've been impressed with, and this is so dumb. I hate it. But like, I'm watching all the Asian people, man. In baseball, I'm watching all the Asian people.
Stepping it up.
Well, it's like there's a lot of good Asian players right now, and I'm like, yo, man, this is exactly what I want.
The Asian representation.
I'm watching the Asian players do great and get the respect they deserve. Because my favorite player of all time is Ichiro, right? And he's not on my team at all. He's not on my favorite team at all. He's not on my team.
Okay.
Well, you can see my Ichiro. We got my Cal, my Ichiro. We got my Shohei. He's currently playing, right? But Ichiro's my favorite. I know that. I don't know if I can show it or not. But in my closet, I have like 15 other Ichiros.
Okay.
Bobbleheads. My favorite player, right? So, he's retired. So now I gotta like find some other fucking rice guy to like. So, watching the Angels play. I'm watching the Tampa Bay Rays play. I'm watching whoever this other Korean guy's on. I can't remember what team he's on. Toronto, I think, or LA. I can't remember. Whatever. I'm just rambling now, so sorry.
No, you're good, man.
When it comes to sports talk, it's just rambling. It just rambles.
I mean, look. What are we all in this life if not constantly rambling about the things that we enjoy? So, I guess hate enjoy this in your case.
Well, I still enjoy when we win. I don't enjoy when we lose.
I think that's the way it should be.
But also, like, why do I care if we lose? They still get paid millions. I don't.
I guess at that point you have some sort of emotional investment in it. I would assume.
What about this? Let me ask you a question before we move on.
Okay.
So, I'm from Washington, D.C., right?
Okay.
When I was a kid, the Nationals weren't a team, right?
Okay.
So I've never seen the Nationals play. I've never been to the stadium. I've never been
Okay.
whatever. But they're the official team of Washington D.C. But for my childhood, and I had to go to Baltimore to watch the Orioles play. Right. That's why I love Cal Ripken Jr. because he was an Oriole. So I
Okay.
would go spring training. I would go to the games. My friends' families. My dad would take me go see the Baltimore. So that was the team that I actually would see and watch.
Okay.
But the moment the Nationals were formed, I go, okay, bye Orioles, Washington Nationals. But part of me deep down is like, I'm still a fan of the Orioles. Because my second favorite player in the first team I ever saw play was the Orioles. But
Oh,
then I go, but they're really bad. But they've been really bad for a long, long time.
okay.
So, my first team technically.
Okay.
So, how do you feel? Because you're not a sports fan, really.
Hmm.
So you don't have the sports fan logic that sports fan have. What do you think? Because there are unwritten sports rules to being a fan.
Like what? Like what kind of unwritten sports rules?
So Bill Simmons, who's a famous sports writer from ESPN, now in the Ringer, wrote a he wrote it's like a joke document, but it's also kind of serious
Hmm.
about like the rules of being a sports fan and like when you can like kind of like your team and all that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
So like if you're from a place that has a sports team, that's your team. Sorry,
Okay.
that's where you're from. You can never change your team. The only way you can change your team is if the team leaves your city to a different city,
Hmm.
or if like the owner is like super super duper trash or something like that, right?
Okay.
So for me, technically, by the unspoken sports fan rule, I should still be a Redskins fan or a Washington football team fan, right? And I
Okay.
and I am. I watch them every year, but they're not my main team because I cannot stand the owner. Because the owner of the team, Dan Snyder, talks shit about Redskins fans and bashes Redskins fans
Hmm.
and purposefully fucking doesn't care. It's only about making money in terms of winning, right? I know it's a business, but still,
Right.
and actively bashes local people who live in DC and watch who support the Redskins for years. He just treats them like shit, right?
Hmm.
The moment that happened, I said, I'm never giving you a dollar of my money again. I will now give all my dollars to my family team, right? Because my family is not from DC. I'm from DC, right?
Hmm.
My family is from Missouri, right? So
Okay.
their team, half my family were Rams fans, right? But we live in
Okay.
St. Louis, and they moved back. They moved back to LA.
Yeah.
The majority of my family are Kansas City Chiefs fans,
Okay.
right? They live near Kansas City, so I went there, right? But with baseball, technically, there's no team, so you go with the nearest team to you.
Okay.
That's the Orioles. But then a team came to my city, so I did the right thing to do and like went jumped over. But who knows? There's unspoken rules,
Hmm.
and sports fans get mad about this shit. It makes no sense. I'll tell you. I'll give you an example. I had a coworker of mine who was born and raised in like Bakersfield, California.
Okay.
Old coworker of mine. Born and raised Bakersfield, California. His football team, Pittsburgh Steelers. His hockey team, Carolina Hurricanes. Hey, no. You are from California. There are so many football teams in California.
Yeah.
At the point of him growing up, at least three, right?
San Diego,
San Francisco,
San Francisco,
Oakland,
yeah, and Oakland. There you go.
three
Yeah.
teams. And now there's four.
And now there's now you got the LA
And then the
Rams.
baseball teams, you got three: Athletics, Giants, Oh, actually, you have four: Padres and the Dodgers. Hockey
Oh,
teams, Sharks, right? You got like three teams in there in the hockey too. So
yeah.
no excuse. Why the fuck are you a fan of Pittsburgh? Why? Because they were good and they were winning, and Big Ben was a good quarterback, and that's why you picked them. Because you're a goddamn bandwagon. You're a fair weather fan. That's the sports fan logic, right? Zach, it makes no sense. And even though,
Well, I mean, I guess my dad probably gave me a little bit of that unspoken sports fan logic then, because in the NFL, it's like, I'm basically, I mean, I
you
was
be a
raised an
Colts
Indian,
fan,
so for me, it's really the only sport I really like paid attention to really was football, and so it was like Colts fan, and then for college it was Notre Dame because my
mm-hmm.
dad was a Notre Dame fan, and so that
But
was the college that we went
if we
to,
did this the
and
way
I
it's
kept
supposed
with
to
it
be,
because the college that I went to did not have a football team.
right, which is
And
fine.
then, I mean, I think the only other thing was that I've always had a soft spot for the Chicago Bears, but that was because when I was a kid playing football, the team that I was on as a kid was called the Bears, and we had the Bears Chicago Bears logo.
Yeah,
So that kind of was just like I've always just been kind of a soft spot for the Bears. But
yeah.
like, the do or die is the Indianapolis Colts, even though they've sucked ass since Peyton Manning left. It's
Well,
still
no,
got.
they were solid with Andrew
They were
Luck
solid
until
for
he
a couple
retired.
of years,
But
but
if you're going by the sports unwritten sports bullshit rules that make no sense, yeah, you'd be a Colts fan, and then for baseball you would be a what's it called fan, right? What's I guess
the Indiana doesn't have a
the
professional
closest
baseball
team
team.
to you would be
You
what?
have to go to Ohio, which I
The
believe
Indians.
is.
It's the Indians or the
I think
Reds.
so, yeah. I think it's the Cleveland Indians.
What
It's
is
either
is
that or you could go to Chicago and go for the White
like
Sox.
I don't know what's closer to Indiana.
We're sandwiched in between Illinois and Ohio, so you really can go to either. I mean, I guess if you want to go by where I was born, Fort Wayne, then I have to go with Cleveland Indians. But
Well, what's closer,
could
Cleveland or
be
Cincinnati?
Cincinnati though. Either.
Cincinnati, yeah. So you that's the logic. You have to go. Okay, pull out the map, pull out the
Yeah.
ruler. Okay, we're closer to Cincinnati, so you're a Reds fan.
I
Okay,
can't
now,
tell. I don't actually know if I was closer to Cincinnati or to. Shit, I lost my phone. I can't even look it up.
but that's the stupid ass sports
Oh.
logic, you know.
I haven't even tried to fucking ruler it out of whether Cincinnati is closer to Fort Wayne than Cleveland. I don't know.
Because
Cincinnati,
I'll tell you a
Fort
story.
Wayne is top right of Indiana, so
Right. Well, when I gave up being a Redskins fan because of that shit owner, I had a friend of mine, a coworker, be like, "Hey, so you're quitting the Redskins. I understand that, right? Even though I never will ever really quit them. Because I grew up next to the stadium, right? So like, I lived literally 5 minutes away
I
from the
think it
stadium.
might be Cleveland. Is there a team in Toledo?
No,
Then it's probably Cleveland. I don't know. Now I'm looking at it, and it's like a perfect triangle.
yeah,
So it could be either one actually. What's the Cincinnati team?
Reds and Bengals.
Cincinnati Reds. I know the Bengals. I
Well,
couldn't
the
remember
Bengals got a
the.
good quarterback this past year, so
Yeah.
they got my college team quarterback.
I mean, if I had to choose, I'd probably choose Cleveland or Cincinnati over Cleveland. But
Well, if I was you, again, these are sports rules, man. So you can't pick. But if I could pick, it'd be I would go for the baseball team in Cleveland because it's cooler and they're generally better.
Cincinnati or the Cleveland
Cleveland
Indians.
Indians, and then I would pick the Bengals because their quarterback is a better quarterback.
Hmm.
Um,
Well, you can't even do the NFL thing though, because I mean, you got the Indianapolis Colts. You gotta stick with the
right,
Colts.
exactly. So
On your unspoken rules, you have to.
when I told a coworker of mine that I'm done with the Redskins, he goes, "Okay, so you're a Ravens fan now, right?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Because it's Baltimore." And I was like, "Fuck, you're right." And I left that conversation being like, "Did I fuck up?" It's fucking sports, but it means a lot for no reason,
Yeah.
right? But like for
That's
me, I have no problem buying merchandise of the Angels or of Tampa Bay or of the Mariners
Mm-hmm.
because those teams have had Asian players that I wanted to support. And to
Mm-hmm.
me, my brothers in Rice mean more than my brothers of a hometown. Sorry,
All right.
it does. You know,
Fair enough.
um, and I wish Zach that you would. I wish you would get into it, man.
Yeah,
Not even baseball because baseball is a fucking part time job.
I think that's the one I've tried to get into the most, and it's always just like such a big undertaking to try to get into it.
Because per year, I think I probably watch maybe 90 games on a good year. I'll watch 90 games, but that's still out of 162.
Yeah,
Hockey's easier.
it's like barely half.
Yeah, hockey's easier. Football is the easiest.
Football is super
You
easy.
know,
One game a week, 16 weeks. That's all you got.
or I think 17 now, but yeah,
Oh, is it?
I
Okay.
believe that. I think they
And then the Super Bowl if you're lucky enough.
yeah. And then obviously I watch all the playoff games, no matter who's in there. But so, well, hey, that was a good, solid half hour of not
There
fucking
you go.
media. Zach, dude, what's next, dude?
Well, next is I think our main topic of the week, which is a topic that you suggested, and I'm happy you did because watching this, I had a lot of fun watching this. We watched the first 12 episodes of the original season of Sailor Moon, um, from 19. I
92, right?
want to say like 95, but I don't think that's
I
right.
thought it was 92.
I feel like it probably is
I could
92.
be completely wrong though.
92 sounds right. Um, 91. 91 to 97. Is that
Okay.
right? Maybe this is the manga. Hold on. Give me the damn anime. You bitch. Um 92. Yeah, it looks like 92 to 97. Okay, it was still 97 though. That's crazy. So first 12 episodes of Sailor Moon, 1992 Sailor Moon. Um J- Jason, let me ask you
Yeah.
honestly, because between the two of us, like I love Henshin stuff as well, but I would say that you are the bigger Henshin fan.
Mm-hmm.
As a Henshin fan, watching this Henshin show, how did you enjoy it?
Um, I I I liked it a lot, but
Yeah,
not because of Henshin stuff. Because
right.
to me, the Henshin stuff is probably the most lackluster part of it.
Yeah, I think the Henshin stuff is definitely the stuff that it shows. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's the limitations that they had.
Yeah.
Because it's definitely 90, I would say at least 25% of every episode is reused assets,
Yeah.
which is mostly the Henshin shit.
Right. And also to me, it's the fact that it's a Henshin into just clothing,
Yeah.
and that's cool and all. But magical girl stuff, I never was a huge fan of. Probably because I was just a boy as a kid. I didn't really care about girl stuff, but also because the Henshin to me makes more sense if it's an armor or a full suit with the helmet.
Yeah.
To me, because like your face is you're just wearing cloth now, like it's different. Like Saint Seiya, it becomes an armor, right?
Right.
So if in Sailor Moon, it became an armor sailor outfit with the tiara.
Hmm.
Okay, cool, but it's just more clothing. I feel like it looks like you could just tear it apart.
Yeah, I think the only thing that's really different about it is, yeah, that she gets the tiara, which is like her
And
main weapon, at least for the
the little
12
head
episodes that we watch.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what made me like the show, and I didn't love it, but I enjoyed it.
Hmm.
Um, what I liked about it was that it was as someone who's never watched Sailor Moon except for snippets on TV as a child,
Yeah.
and I know the theme song because I am a person who was alive and who
First of all, can we just say, fucking Banger opening song.
Yo, fantastic.
I've had that song stuck in my head all fucking week now.
Fantastic.
Ever since we started listening to it, and I was like, God, this is a good fucking song.
Well, the music in general is great.
Yeah, it's super great.
What I was gonna say was that, again, I have no context for any of this. I have no I don't know any of the. If I see a reference to Sailor Moon, modern day, it has to be very spot on, like on the nose, for me to get it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but when I watch this show, the first couple episodes or whatever, it's so clear to me how this shit like started so much stuff.
Yeah.
It was so obvious to me, like, oh my god, people rip this shit like crazy. It was so obvious to me how important this series was to the growth of other shoujo-y. It's so obvious, and obviously that statement is very easy to say in general, but I had no idea because I don't fucking like Sailor Moon. You know, I didn't watch it as a kid. I can say that about Dragon Ball. I can say that about other stuff, but not Sailor Moon. I know it's important. I know it's a seminal show, but I couldn't say with like wholeheartedly being like, yeah, that show was definitely an influence in so much stuff. I could say now that visually, color wise, palette, even for a show in 1992, 91, whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah.
And even though half the shits are like matte backgrounds, like drawing, like whatever, it's so bright, it's so vibrant. The design is so clearly like great and cute, whatever, and
yeah,
unique.
I think that's the biggest thing for me too. I think it's got really good, strong character designs for each of the girls.
Yeah.
In the first 12 episodes, we're introduced to the 3 starter Sailor Warriors, which was Moon, Mercury, and Mars, which I didn't really care for Mercury that much. I don't know how you felt, but Mars was like, she came out and was like, hell yeah, let's do this shit.
Yeah.
She's not as good as Jupiter, but I was like, you know what? I'm digging you, because I talked about this with my coworker a little bit today, because I told her that I started watching Sailor Moon. And because clearly she's watched it a bunch. And we were talking about the new movie that was coming out as well, because I didn't even realize until this week, like I didn't realize that was happening, like that these movies were coming out this week. Like I think I just saw it in like a package on CNN. I was like, oh shit, like there's new movies coming out. I was like, fuck dude, I kind of actually want to watch these now because they look dope. And like at that point I'd watch a decent amount of episodes. Like, well, I'm kind of like digging this now. I kind of wish I like knew more shit to like actually just dive into these movies and start watching them, because I'm liking them a lot. But yeah, really strong character designs for sure.
Yeah, I agree. And I'll ask you this, or I'll say this: I watched the dub.
I watched the sub.
I watched the dub on purpose because 90s dub anime.
Yeah.
Maybe it's nostalgia for me, but generally, fucking love it. Generally.
I would say that. I think there was a couple. I don't know. It's hard for me to tell because I really don't compare and contrast too much. I mean, for me, it's like, I don't know. I can't really compare and contrast. I think the biggest one for me is like Dragon Ball, which is like the Dragon Ball dub for me is just so much better than the sub. It's like, I tried to watch Dragon Ball Super sub and I was like, this is dog shit. I hate Goku's voice.
The music
what the fuck
sucks.
is this shit?
Everything's so bad.
But it's like, the thing for me is like a lot of the old school animes that you think you would have the comparisons to. It's like I just always watch Yu Yu Hakusho dubbed. Yeah. Like I just know Yusuke as like the English Yusuke.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. I think the biggest thing for me is like, I don't remember watching Sailor Moon dubbed, but I remember hearing this theme song dubbed.
Yes.
And hearing it subbed, I was like, I kind of like the sub version better.
Well, you're also just a weeb.
Well, that's true. But also, comparing the two in actually like trying to compare the two, the English version is like so generic and bland, and it's just like, yeah, we're Sailor Moon and we're like doing shit. And then you get to the Japanese one, it's like it's got actual lyrics that's like actually like trying to tell a story in this like minute 30 seconds about like the Sailor Moon's like journey as a character and like what she's like trying to struggle for a little bit. So that's like it's
Yeah,
got
I
a little
don't
bit more
know
depth.
if it's fair to to jump on the fucking the hate on the dub because they had to fill in the song. They had to write lyrics for that shit.
Yeah, that's true too. And I mean, look, for them trying to like fill in lyrics, they got some catchy ass lyrics.
It's a
And I don't
catchy
know if
ass
it's the
song.
lyrics or it's just the fact that like that beat is just so fucking good.
Both,
But
both. But I mean, so the premise, because I had no idea about how any of this shit worked, right?
yeah,
I thought that Sailor Moon was like a magical person,
hmm
like and she obviously is a magical
all
person,
about the cat, dude.
right? But I had no context for anything.
Mhm.
I know Tuxedo Mask, the character. I've seen him before, obviously, but I didn't really. I still don't know really. Like I don't really understand the
I mean,
character.
in the 12 episodes that we watch, it's not really clearly explained like
Yeah.
what Tuxedo Mask is, which also I will say is my one detraction for this, which is that I want more Tuxedo Mask
Well, it's
because
not
that
about
character is
him.
fucking dope.
I do know. Excuse me. That
Mm.
in the future seasons we meet their daughter.
Tuxedo Mask
I
and
do know that.
Sailor Moon's daughter. Okay.
Yeah, I believe, like from the future.
Oh, is that the shrimp that I keep seeing popping up with the unicorn and or the Pegasus and shit?
Uh,
I keep seeing
don't
some
know.
I see like a mini Sailor Moon that is like has like a Pegasus or some shit.
I don't know. She's like pink hair or some shit like that. I think I
Yeah,
don't
she's
remember.
got pink hair and she's got like a pink
I
Pegasus.
believe that's their daughter. I could be wrong.
I mean,
Um,
I would believe that.
but the 12 episodes, I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it a lot.
I do think this though.
Mm.
I would rather watch the like OVA, like Crystal retellings.
Mm. Is that
Um,
a retelling?
I thought it was.
I'm not positive, so I don't know.
I thought it was, and only
I didn't know
because
if it was a retelling or if it was just a new extension of the story.
let's find out.
Let me see. Is
Um,
a original net animation adaptation of blah 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 20th anniversary blah 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 were released twice a month. Instead of remaking this preceding it, Toei produced Crystal as a reboot of Sailor Moon and as a more faithful adaptation. Oh, okay.
oh,
As a more faithful adaptation of the original. Okay, so yeah, it's a reboot of Sailor Moon. I did not know that.
see, if I knew that shit, I would have said, "Let's watch this bitch."
I kind of like watching the original though.
I get that, but whenever the series is more faithful to the manga, I'm automatically like
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, it's
automatically
the
boned up for
brotherhood.
that.
It's the brotherhood argument for sure. So
I is Crystal on it? I wonder if Crystal's on.
I think Crystal's on Netflix.
Is it on Netflix? You think?
I think so. I'm not positive. If it's
I
not
don't
on
think so.
Netflix, I know it's on Crunchyroll. So
Right. Um. Yeah, because I think that what for me, I would like to really filter down that 46 episodes to something a little more condensed. Um,
mm.
only because I don't necessarily care about the strife of a 13-year-old, 14-year-old girl as much as I would have if I was younger.
Yeah.
Um,
I also didn't like Usagi as a character a lot. I've heard
yeah.
my coworkers telling me that she gets better later on, which I mean she's got to be because I've seen like stuff later on where she's just like a hero. But for like these 12 episodes, she's like
Well,
the whiny
this
bitch,
bitch
and I'm
has to.
like,
They start dying. She has to kick ass.
yeah.
They
Well,
start.
that was the other thing that I was wanted to bring up as well. Besides the fact that I didn't like Usagi's character, was that like it gave me from at least from what you told me, like I don't have a lot of experience from it, but like this show from these 12 episodes gave me a lot of like Kamen Rider vibes in like the maturity aspect of it, where it's
Mhm.
like there's like if these Sailor Warriors fuck up, these people are fucking dying.
Yeah. Well, I think it's also because in the 90s, that's how everything was. Or in the
Yeah.
80s, too. Like Shonen and
Mm-hmm.
like the shoujo stuff. Like, yeah, monsters had consequences.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they don't have that stuff now, but they do. They
Yeah,
did back then.
that's fair.
So, I liked it, man. I mean, I'm more inclined for time purposes
Mm-hmm.
to
To
watch
watch Crystal.
Crystal.
Yeah.
Also, knowing that it's more faithful, that gets me more boned up to want to watch
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean?
The thing the thing about me reading about it though is that so the strange thing is that, well, maybe this was only the first season, but it's only 26 episodes. And especially knowing that like this original Sailor Moon run that we're going through is like upwards of like 150. I guess maybe just a lot of it's filler, but like I don't know.
Well, isn't
I'm wondering where that disconnect
season
is.
1 and 2 is 26, and then season 3 is 13?
Is it? I don't know. I'm not sure. The third season consisted of 13 episodes and debuted in 2016.
So it's 13, 13, 13.
Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, 14, 12, 13, and then 2 movies, which are the ones that are on
First two seasons were streamed about 2014 to 2015. The 26 episodes, okay. Yeah, 26. Yeah, so it's like, yeah, like 39 episodes overall, but
and then 2 movies, which are the Netflix ones.
which are the movies that just came out, yeah. Which are like they're two movies, but they're like part one and part two. So
Right. I wonder if this is a manga story or if it's just a whole new story.
I don't know.
What Wikipedia
I'm
says.
interested in watching Crystal though. I mean, I honestly, you had to like ask me, I think I'd still probably continue with the original, at least to like the 44 episodes, and see how I felt about it after like this first season runs out.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely interested in picking up Crystal too, especially if like Crystal directly feeds into the movies that just came out, because that's what I'm really interested in watching is
That's what it
these new
says.
movies.
It
The
says,
what?
it says Crystal is. Those movies are Crystal.
Okay.
It says the movies are the adaptations of the Dream arc. I don't know what that.
I don't know what that means.
I wish I could like Google like Sailor Moon
Yeah.
arcs, because if that if that means that there's more Crystal to be made, or like what? I don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Sailor Moon fandom.com. Okay, so there's Dark Kingdom, Black Moon, Death Busters, Dead Moon, Sailor Stars, and Dark Kingdom Another Story. So I don't
Huh.
see where Dream is in there, but whatever.
Okay.
I
Huh.
think Dead Moon is supposed to be that. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't
I'm
know.
confused. Either way, I mean, overall, I enjoyed it, man. I mean, it was fun.
Yeah. It's a
What?
fun series for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, I definitely see why it got to the popularity that it got to, because like it's super fun, super watchable.
yeah,
Characters are great. There's a lot of good chemistry going on, and um, yeah, I definitely see why like it became like one of the powerhouse shows, especially for like shojo anime that like it did. So
yeah. I completely agree. I completely agree. And I don't know. What do you want to do?
honestly, with the movies coming out, I kind of just want to go into Crystal. Then I might just continue just watching like the original on my own because I enjoy it a lot.
Mhm.
But I really want to get to those movies.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know
So
if all three. Well, first of all, I don't know if it's on net. Well, I mean, I have Crunchyroll. I don't know how. I don't think you have Crunchyroll, but I mean, I'll just watch it on Crunchyroll.
I
But
mean, I'll just find a way.
yeah. Oh. Okay. So how do you?
Do we just do the first part of Crystal, which is 12
You just
episodes,
want to do the first 13? Yeah.
and just kind of? I mean, I'm assuming it'll dive into, you know, fucking however many episodes of the first season of the first show. It'll just condense that first arc down into the 13 episodes, right?
I guess so.
Because they have to.
Yeah, I feel like they would have to. I mean, I guess we're gonna figure out what's filler and what's not in that
Yeah,
13 episodes.
exactly. So that works for me though. I'm cool with that.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. All three seasons are on Crunchyroll, so I'll probably just watch it through Crunchyroll then.
Cool. Well, guys. Well, Zach, anything else you want to say before we end the pod?
Guys, watch Sailor Moon if you haven't, dude. Get out your fucking, I look here. Just fucking I'll punish you in the name of the moon, dog.
Well, hey, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Catch you back next week with more License to View.
See you guys.